Hello yogis, Kathy here. Welcome to my yoga channel, Yoga by Kathy. Today's class is a 30-minute slow, low flow. So we're going to take it slow and we're going to stay close to the ground. So this is a great way to stretch in the morning or wind down at night, or you can add this practice to the beginning or end of another workout. It's a great way to give your body some time and space to stretch and open. For this practice, we're going to be using a block. If you don't have a block, you can always use a pillow, a cushion, or a book. Anything you can find around the house that's going to elevate the floor so that you can, if you want, modify the poses. So let's get started. We're going to meet on our backs in a supported fish pose. Remember, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the section below to let me know what poses you really enjoy or anything else you want to see or work on in the future. Remember to hit the subscribe button and click on that notification bell to get updates straight to your inbox. Thank you, and let's get started. So we're going to make our way down onto our backs. You can come straight onto the ground, or if you have a block, place it in between the shoulder blades. About a third of the way down, form your shoulders on the flat side of the block or your cushion. Keeping the hips on the floor, let's begin to lie back. Slowly recline, allow your upper body, so the upper third of your spine, to be propped up by your block or your pillow. Feet can start to extend forward, or you can bring the soles of the feet together in butterfly pose. Again, you can use supports like blocks or pillows underneath the knees to make it more comfortable for the hips. All right, so let's take an inhale, start to reach the hand up overhead, give your wrists a little turn, flick through the fingers, and we'll gently allow the arms to settle down beside our bodies, palms facing up, slight bend through the elbows. And begin to take a few deep breaths. Just allow our bodies to come down onto the mat. Settling here, arriving both physically and mentally. Breathing in and out through the nose. Begin to feel the belly rise with every inhalation. Feeling your rib cage expand. Chest open, breathing a little bit of air at the top of your inhalation, and as you exhale, slowly breathe out through your nose, drawing out the air, bring it down all the way into the pit of the belly. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. So on the inhale, we're going to breathe in for a count of 5. Hold the breath at the top of the inhalation and slowly exhale for a count of 5. So let's begin. Inhale for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspend the breath and exhale for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and exhale for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And try to keep this pace of breath throughout our slow flow practice today. Checking in with your breath from time to time to make sure we're still breathing fully, deeply, and completely. So if your knees are open, let's go ahead and bring our hands to the outside of the knees. Slowly draw the knees together into center, rolling over to either side, coming off the block. We're going to place the block off to the side. Drawing your right knee in towards your chest, interlace the fingers. We're going to extend this left leg forward if it feels comfortable. If your hip flexors are a little bit tight, you're going to keep the knee bent. If it's comfortable, you're going to go ahead and extend that leg all the way forward. Interlace the fingers around the shin. Inhale, right knee up towards the right shoulder. Exhale, give yourself a little hug. And as you pull this right knee in towards the chest, think about drawing the knee up towards that shoulder. And as you exhale, find a little bit of compression. Maybe start to press the low back, the sacrum into the floor. So we want to be finding a neutral spine here, keeping our spine nice and long. One more breath. And open up the knee. We're going to grab for the outside edge of our foot. You can reach for the arches or take your piece and middle finger and loop onto that big toe, whatever feels comfortable. Keep a 90-degree bend in the knee. We're going to come into half happy baby. Again, bottom leg can stay bent or extended. On the inhale, we're going to open up the hip like a book. So external rotation, drop that right foot out to the side. And as you exhale, bring it back forward, over, across the body. Inhale, open up. Exhale, drop it across the body. Your left hand is going to hold on to the left thigh. Try to ground the opposite hip down as you move from side to side. Moving with the breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, take it across. Inhale, open. And exhale, bring it across. Last time, inhale, open. This time, once you cross over to the side, we're going to continue to add onto the twist into a supine twist. You can shift your hips slightly over to the right as you draw the knee over across to the left. Right hand can come out into a T, or you can bend your elbow. So staying here for 3 deep breaths. With every exhale, try to drop that right shoulder blade a little bit closer to the floor. Finding a deep twist from the upper back all the way down into the low back. And if it's comfortable for your head, you can roll the head over as well, looking past your right shoulder towards the right fingertips. Finding length on your inhalation. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Drop the knee a little bit further away from the body. Plant the shoulder blades down 1 more inch. 1 more breath. Begin to roll your head back into center. We're going to bring our hips back into neutral. So shift the hips so that they're underneath your shoulders, and we're going to switch sides. So think about extending or bending your right leg. We're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest, interlace the fingers on the shin. Give yourself a hug. Inhale, pull the left knee up towards the left shoulder. And exhale, gentle compression, hug that knee in. And maybe you'll find a slight movement side to side. It might feel good to massage at the low back, the sacrum area. Try to relax the shoulders. So as long as we're staying on our backs, I want you to try and relax the shoulder blades down, shoulders away from the ears. Think about pushing the low back and sacrum into the floor. Finding axial extension through the spine. So lengthening through the crown of the head towards the top of your mat and dropping the tailbone down towards the opposite end. Alright, let's go ahead and kick the foot up. So bend the knee, reaching up, piece of middle finger looping onto the big toe, or you grab onto the arch of the foot. Right hand holding onto the right hip. We're going to open and close the hip like a book. So drawing it open on the inhale, and on the exhale, take it across. So we're going to do this a few times, moving with your breath. Open and close, gently lubricating the hip joint, adding a soft twist to prepare ourselves for our full supine twist. So on the next exhalation, as you take this leg across, we're going to continue that twist all the way, maybe using your right hand, helping that knee down towards the floor. Opposite hand out into a T position or bent elbow. Head can stay up, or you can start to rotate the head over, looking past the left shoulder. Continue to drop the knee down towards the floor as you add the twist all the way up through the mid-back to the upper back. Inhale, finding extension through the spine. Think about growing tall. And as you exhale, sink a little bit deeper, drawing that left shoulder blade down towards the floor. Last breath. Begin to roll your head back into center, and we'll pick up the feet. Bring it up to the middle. Let's grab for both feet into full happy baby, reaching around for the toes or the arches of the foot. We're going to start to rock side to side. We're maybe rolling up and down a few times. Bring a little bit of movement into the spine, encouraging the tailbone to come down towards the floor. So again, still maintaining length in the entire back. This is a great way to stretch out the low back, reduce some of that tightness and crunching through the lumbar spine. And we'll release, plant the feet down, mat width apart or slightly wider than hip distance if you're not on a mat. We're going to walk the feet back, see if you can touch the back of your heels with your fingertips. So that's the perfect distance we're looking for. Let's come into a few rounds of floating bridges. So on the inhale, we're going to press into our hands and feet, drive the hips up. And at the same time, I want you to squeeze the knees towards the center as you start to engage the glutes and the hamstrings. On the exhale, we lower upper, mid, low back down to the ground. Inhale, press in hands and feet, lifting up and for back. And try to keep your neck neutral, refrain from looking side to side. You want to tuck the chin in slightly. And exhale, let's roll down, one vertebra at a time, down to the ground. Neutral spine, inhale, lifting up. From here, we're going to hold here, squeeze the knees towards center. We're going to add a few pulses, pushing the hips up. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower all the way back down. A little bit of core and glutes work, and we'll release. Make your way up onto hands and knees. Give yourself a little rock and roll, reaching for the back of the thighs. Massage out the entire length of the spine. So you rock and roll up, crossing over at the ankles, and we'll fall forward to a table position. So from your table, shoulders, elbows, wrists in one line, hips over the knees. Let's take an inhale, drop the belly, lifting the gaze, lifting the sit bones. As we exhale, press the floor away, chin to chest. Inhale, arching through the back, finding spinal extension, lifting the gaze up. As you breathe out, tucking the chin in, keeping the arms straight as you push the floor away. Let's do 2 more, moving at your own pace. Last time. Coming into center, we're going to extend the right leg back. Inhale, point the toes, extend. Big step forward as you bring that foot in between the hands, top of the mat. If you have a block, option to use your block and place it underneath one of your hands. You can walk up, hands on your thighs or onto a block. You want to stack the joints, so knee over the ankle. Sit up nice and tall, keep the chest lifted. And as you exhale, sending the breath into your hip flexors, allow a slight sinking of the hips. Engage the core by tucking the tailbone under ever so slightly. Chest is lifted, shoulders down and relaxed. If you're balanced, you can reach your hand up. We're going to release the hands from the floor or a block. If you're not quite balanced, you can stay exactly where you are and begin to breathe a few times here with us. So we're going to open up our chest, cactus arms. Inhale, open, puff the chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades behind. And as you exhale, we're going to round through the spine, cross to the elbows, and give ourselves a big hug. Inhale, open the chest, squeeze shoulder blades, look up. Exhale, round through the spine, cross the opposite direction, give yourself a big hug forward. Let's go again. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, come forward, round through the spine, cross the elbows, hug. And we'll take the hands down to the floor, switching to the other side. So from your table, we'll extend through the left leg, step it forward in between the hands. Again, check with your balance here. You might feel the same or you might be slightly different. Our bodies are not always designed symmetrically, so if you need to use a block, remember there's different heights to your block. You can place it underneath your fingers or walk your hands up onto the thigh. So let's take 3 breaths to start, setting up in our low lunge. Shoulders relaxed, chest lifted. Try to soften the hips with every exhale, sink a little bit deeper with every breath out. So again, you can stay here, or if you're balanced, we're going to release our hands and come into eagle arms. Cross the right elbow underneath the left, and then you can grab for opposite shoulders or continue to wrap the hands together into an eagle bind. From here, we're going to lift up, take a slight back bend, reach up, look up. As we exhale, come forward, dive down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, look up. Spreading shoulder blades, and exhale, gentle dive forward. And we'll reverse, so cross the opposite direction. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, come forward. 2 more. Stretching into the hip flexors, opening up the lower body. And we'll release, take the hands down, step back into a tabletop position. We're going to extend the right leg back again. This time step it all the way to the outside of the right hand. Curling the back toes under, we're going to lift the back knee off the floor. Left hand on the ground, inhale, easy twist, open up through the chest, reaching right arm up. We're going to start to make some big arm circles. So you can go clockwise or counterclockwise, moving into the shoulders. Take any circular motions that feel good. You can make the circle small or really exaggerate it by reaching back, adding a slight twist in the body. And do 3 full cycles. So moving with your own breath. At the end of your next exhale, let's come back down, drop the back knee onto the floor, uncurl the toes. So from your dragon pose, you can grab for a block, place it to the inside of your hands. We're going to come down into a dragon stretch. So if you're comfortable, you can stay on your block, or you can come down onto your forearms. Basically a level where you can feel a stretch in your hip joint without any pinching in the lower body. So take a second to set up and see what works for you. If your foot feels comfortable to roll open, so rolling to the outer edges of that right foot, go ahead and open up through the hip. You can further add on to the stretch by taking your palm to the inner thigh and give it a gentle push, dropping the knee away from the body. So we're going to hold for 3 deep breaths. Once you're in your position, begin to breathe. And with your exhale, try to send the breath down towards the hips, towards the hip flexors, and soften the stretch. At the end of your next exhale, coming back up. If you're on your forearms, make your way up onto your hands. We're going to close the knee up if your knee is open. Heel toe the foot back into center nice and slow. Shifting back into half splits. We're going to place our hands down on the floor or onto a block and push the hips back, and at the same time flexing through that right ankle, kicking the toes upwards. So you want to keep this right knee extended, flexing the ankles so the toes are pointing up, pushing the sit bones back without sitting onto your back heel. Lifting forward, keeping the spine nice and long. If it feels comfortable and you have room to go deeper, you can start to add a slight bend, dropping the chest forward, adding a forward fold into the hamstring stretch. Inhale, look forward, rocking back to the top of the mat, coming into your low lunge. Let's make our way up, hands onto your thighs or onto a block, whatever feels comfortable. Lifting up through the chest. One more breath. Taking a moment to check in with your body, see if this pose feels any different after our hip stretches. And bring the hands down to the ground, curl the toe, step it back into your table. And let's try it on the other side. So extend through the left leg, point the toes, exhale, big step to the top of the mat. Take that foot out wide to the outer edges of your mat. So we're going to start with our shoulder stretches. Curl the toes and lift the back knee off the ground. Right hand down to the floor. Inhale, easy twist, left arm up. And we're going to start with our shoulder circles, taking it in some clockwise or counterclockwise movements, going forwards and back. Make them small or really exaggerated, opening up through the chest. Let's do 3 more circles at your own pace. And exhale, release, take it down, dropping the back knee onto the floor. Let's come into our dragon pose. So both hands to the inside of that left foot. You can reach for a block if you like, come down onto your forearms, or any shape that feels good. And again, if you're foot is trying to roll out, to splay out to the side, and it feels okay for your hip, you can allow that foot to do so. You can place a hand to the inner thigh and give it a little push, guiding the knee open. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Any version of the stretch that feels comfortable for you. Breathing into the hip joint, into the back hip flexors. Soften the shoulders. Release the chin towards your chest. And we'll begin to make our way back up, making your way onto your hands. If you're on your forearms, inhale, look forward. Exhale, hand to the outside of your thigh. Gently heel toe the foot back into center. Release the block. Place it on either side of the foot or on your fingertips. We're going to exhale, shift the hips back, coming to half splits. Flex the ankles so the toes are pointing upwards. Ankle is flexed. We're kicking that heel forward and at the same time pulling the sit bones back. Try to keep your hips square to the front of the mat, so left hip is pulling back as right hip is coming forward. So squaring your hips to the top of the mat. Again, if you're comfortable here in half splits, you can continue to dive forward, adding a slight bend into your pose. Remember to lead with the chest. Try not to round through the spine as you come forward. Always think about length, drawing the crown of the head forward towards the front of your mat. So think about length rather than how low you can go in this pose. And continue to breathe into your hamstrings. 2 more breaths. And we'll release. Inhale, look forward halfway. Exhale. Walk it forward, coming back into your low lunge. Making your way up. Hands on floor, on blocks, or on the front thigh. 3 deep breaths. Relax the shoulders. Chest is lifted. Taking a quick body scan of your hips, your knees, your ankles. And we'll place the hands down, curl the toe, lift the back, and you're going to step back into downwards facing dog. Just a quick stretch of the body. So walk your feet back, index and middle fingers pointing forward. Pedal out the feet, shifting the hips side to side if that feels comfortable. Any movements here you like to release the body. And we'll start to walk the hands back towards the back of the mat, draping forward. Grabbing for opposite elbows here in ragdoll. So begin to shift your body weight side to side. Add a little sway. Continue to lift the hips up. And maybe nodding the head up and down a few times. Release the hands down to the floor. Inhale, look forward, halfway lift. Hands on the floor or your shin. As we lift forward, we want to keep the back nice and tall. And exhale, release. Walk your hands over towards the right side. Take an inhale, look forward, halfway lift. And exhale, release. Walk it over to the left. So we're going to do this side to side. Keep a slight bend in your knees if you need to. Inhale, look forward, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Walk it over to the right. Inhale, look forward, stretch. Exhale, fold over to the left. Inhale, look forward and stretch. And back to center one more time on each side. Great. Stretch for the QL muscles in the low back. And exhale, release, coming back to center. From your ragdoll position, we're going to walk ourselves back to the top of the mat, finding a high plank pose, and lowering down. Bring the knees to the floor, knees, chin, chest comes down to the ground, and let's come back into a seated position. So come into a seated pose, bring the ankles to cross. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms up. On the exhale, drop the right hand down onto the mat, gentle side bend, reach the top hand up overhead, spin the shoulder back, stretching into the obliques, into the ribs. And exhale, come back to center. We're going to drop the left hand down onto the ground. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, slowly find a side bend. Continue to drop your sit bones down. Make sure both hips are touching the floor. If your hip is lifting, you're going to come up a little bit higher on your hands. And let's come back to center. One more on each side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, start to fold. Maybe forearm comes down onto the ground. Breathing in, nice and tall. And we're going to tick-tock over to the left side. One more breath. Breathing in, coming back into center. Taking a seated twist. Bringing your right hand back, left hand to the outside of the thigh. Inhale, we sit up tall. Exhale, start to twist, grounding down through your sit bones. Allow your spine to gently twist as you begin to rotate. Taking the gaze back behind your right shoulder. And coming back to center, switching sides. Inhale, sit tall, left hand behind, right hand comes to the outside. One more breath here. And the inhale takes us back into center. Let's close our practice with one breath, share together. We're going to bring our palms together, thumbs to touch, hands in front of our sternum. We're going to breathe in through the nose, suspend the breath, and then exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, fill the belly. Suspend the breath, open the mouth, deep exhale. Breathing out fully and completely, breathing out any residual air. Thank you, yogis, for flowing with me. I hope you enjoyed this slow, low flow class. If you like my video, remember to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button to receive more videos just like these. Feel free to check out my other videos, and until next time, thank you and namaste.